Welcome back. Hope you're having a good morning of trade. You should be, considering the way the market has been moving. And if you're a bull, things are only going to get better. At least that's what the GIFT Nifty is suggesting this morning. But let's take it straight to individual stocks because there's plenty to talk about this morning. I'm looking at three stocks, which are the auto names that came out with their numbers post-market hours yesterday. I think top of the pack is Hero MotoCorp, so I'm going with green over there. Very good set of numbers coming through for Hero MotoCorp. A 15% growth is what they have delivered this time. Nomura's estimate was 4.87 lakh units. They've delivered over 5 lakh units. So that is green. TVS Motors actually red because the numbers are slightly lower than what the street was estimating. And some of the export markets continue to grow in low single digits for names like TVS and Bajaj Auto. So I'm going with red over there. And for Tata Motors as well, I'm going with red because domestic sales were down 8%. CV sales were down 7%. Passenger vehicle sales were down 8%. Exports was the only piece that was up 13%, but it's a very small portion of the domestic business. Overall, domestic sales have seen a big degrowth, so I'm going with red for Tata Motors.
Okay, all right. Well, I'm keeping an eye on NMDC because they came out with their June update, and in fact, it was quite weak. But that was more or less on expected lines. So the sales volumes is down by close to around 9%. You have the production number as well that was down by close to around 3%. They're waiting for some approvals with regard to getting additional capacity on stream. But for the time being, these numbers go down as weak. And yesterday, we had highlighted here on Bazaar itself that there was a possibility that they go ahead and cut prices by around 500 rupees per ton because we're getting into a monsoon season. So that's normally what we see softening in terms of pricing. Just one word, there are reports that maybe there's some flooding in parts of the globe, and that's what could keep global iron ore prices firm. But for the time being, both these two updates are a little bit disappointing. So going with red on NMDC. But Mangalam joins us to tell us about Patanjali Foods. Morning, Mangalam.
Good morning. So yesterday the stock ended at the high point of trade with a gain of almost 7%, and this was something which was widely expected. It has come about. The company has gone ahead and acquired the home and personal care business of Patanjali Ayurved. Basically what they've acquired is the dental care, skin care, hair care and home care business of Patanjali Ayurved, for which they will pay 1100 crore rupees over 5 tranches, and additionally for 20 years they will also pay 3% of gross sales, which accounts for a minimum 83 crore as licensing fee annually. So what is it that they're getting? The HPC business or home and personal care business of Patanjali Ayurved is a business which has around 2800 crore of revenue and 500 crore of EBITDA with 18% margins, as against Patanjali's own business of 32,000 crore revenue, 1200 crore EBITDA and 4% margin. So what this deal does is adds about 8.5% to their sales and 32% to their EBITDA ex royalty. Over the last 3 years, the CAGR of this business has been around 6.4%. Majority of this business comes in from dental care. 1345 crores is the revenue out there. Skin care is about 725 crores with 14% margins. Home care 410 crores and hair care is roughly 300 crores with margins of 12%. Additionally, Patanjali's current distribution is 1.5 million touchpoints as against the business that they've acquired, which has 1 million distribution touchpoints. So there are scopes of synergies as well. So let's see where this goes from here. But for now, that the deal has happened and at attractive valuations with margin accretion, one sees green on Patanjali.
All right, Mangalam, thanks very much for that. Well, more stocks with news flow. Vamakshi is here with details on these names. Vamakshi, morning.
Well, good morning, Prashant. Let me first take you through Carousel. This stock will be in focus because the QIP opened yesterday. The floor price has been set at 837.89 per share, which is more or less in line with where the current market price of the company is at. So going with the green as far as Carousel is concerned. But CSB Bank is also expected to open higher. There's a good operational update that has come through from them. Gross advances stood at 25,099 crores. This is an uptick of almost 18% on a YOY basis. Total deposits at nearly 30,000 odd crores saw an uptick of almost 22%, but the CASA ratio has deteriorated to 24.9%. DCX Systems has received a large order. They've received a contract or order worth almost 1,250 crores from L&T, and this is for manufacture and supply of electronic modules. So going with the green for this counter as well. IOL Chemicals has received China's Drug Regulatory Authority, which is NMPA. They've received that approval for the company's product Phenophybe fenofibrate, and this in turn will enable the company to export its fenofibrate API to the Chinese market. So on the back of that, going with the green for IOL Chemicals. And lastly, let's focus in on Angel One. Unlike the other counters that I mentioned before, this counter is expected to open lower today, and that is because SEBI has directed to discontinue the practice of levying slab-wise fee structures by MIIs. SEBI has said that the charges levied by market infrastructure institutions such as stock exchanges, clearing corporations and depositories should be uniform and not be based on volumes. This initially was benefiting some of the discount brokers, but with the new regulations that will come through and the circular will be effective from 1st of October, the top line of discount brokers could be impacted, and on the back of that, expect Angel One to be under pressure today.
Okay, interesting. We'll take that discussion forward in just a bit. For now, let's do a quick recap of our top stocks. Stocks with positive news flow: Hero MotoCorp, Patanjali Foods, Carousel, CSB Bank, DCX Systems and IOL Chemicals, while stocks with negative news flow: TVS Motor, Tata Motors, NMDC and Angel One. Let's take a short break. On the other side, Amnish Agarwal of Prabhudas Lilladher will be joining in for some fundamental stock analysis. Stay tuned.